Hello everybody, welcome back to Survival Defense Tactics, helping you take care of yourself so others won't have to. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button on the YouTube channel if you like them. Alright, today is why would you want to raise rabbits for meat? I've got several reasons I've got wrote down in the house. I'm going to go back to my little notepad here in a minute because you know I can't keep track of nothing, can't stay focused. So let me turn around the camera and show you how I have my rabbit cages right now, and kind of give you an idea of what I've done. I was fortunate enough to have some extra metal laying around and a welder, so I use metal for my cages. You can use wood. You just have to make sure that you protect it, paint it really good, because rabbit urine will definitely stain and tear up some wood. And also make sure that you keep it to where the rabbits can't get their teeth on the wood. They will chew that wood completely apart. And there are ways to make the rabbit cages where you don't have to worry about them being able to more or less eat the cage. Half-inch hardwire cloth is going to be your friend. It's highly expensive, but it's well worth it. And no, I don't think you could get away with using chicken wire by any means. You're going to have to use a hardwire cloth or something of that nature, something that stout, something that rugged. Alright, so here's my cages. I basically have two sets of cages. They're each 6 feet long. Right here's the breaking point in them. I apologize for the lighting and the wind. I'm doing the best I can. Winter's trying to catch up to us. But in essence, what I have is I have two males. There's a California male, there's a New Zealand male, and then I have New Zealand females, California female, and another New Zealand. So all in all, I have 7 rabbits, 2 bucks, 5 does. I've installed a gutter system underneath it, if you will, like a roof that catches their manure. It goes into this little rain gutter, which is actually, no joke, rain gutter from Lowe's. And then once a day, every day, I come out here and I sweep the manure down into this bucket. Free fertilizer for the garden. Both cages are set up that way. Of course, I keep their feed handy. Water I bring out every day, so that way they can have fresh water, and I don't have to worry so much about it freezing. The initial setup of getting your rabbits established, a lot of that's going to depend upon what kind of rabbits you want, rabbit breed that is. If you're into Flemish Giants, you're going to spend money on getting their cages set up, depending upon how many you want to get inside and out of the wind. So, like I said, I have 2 different breeds, New Zealand and Californians. You can keep the New Zealand breed all New Zealand. You can keep the Californians all Californian, and then you can crossbreed for just plain old meat rabbits. I said in another video earlier that the only reason why you would really want to keep them purebred is if you plan on showing them or selling them and you want a good price. If all you're doing is getting meat rabbits for yourself and your family, you can crossbreed all day long. It don't matter. You're after the meat, not the name. So one of the reasons you would want to grow your own rabbits is for the meat. And here are some of the advantages of rabbits over other types of livestock. They thrive almost anywhere, and it doesn't take a whole lot of money to keep them happy and healthy. The most expensive part is probably going to be when you build the cages, or if you buy some pre-made. And those little rabbit hutches that you can get like at Atwoods and Tractor Supply and so on, that's fine to get started. But if you decide that you're going to go a little more commercial, as it were, and you're going to have a lot more rabbits, those hutches are going to get expensive. I highly encourage you to come up with an idea of how to make your own. You've seen how I made mine. They're 6 feet long. Each cage is 2 feet wide, 2 feet deep, and 18 inches tall. And that's more than enough room for each rabbit. Their rabbits are usually very cheap to acquire. Right now, the going average for a New Zealand, I think, is about $25 a piece for buck or doe. Rabbits are very easy to maintain. Food, water, shelter, so on. You can get them treats. A stick off the ground. They love chewing on sticks. That gives them something to do, keeps them occupied, keeps their teeth clean and healthy. You know, another advantage that rabbits have over other types of livestock is they're very quiet. They don't hardly make any noise at all. You're still, if you live out in the country, you're still going to attract predators, but once again, a good solid cage will take care of that problem. Your rabbits will be protected. When in doubt, buy a rifle. Get good with it. I don't know of a nicer way to put it. Be able to shoot a predator. Also, with them being quiet, this is very important for you. Once again, they don't draw attention to your place. Like me, I live out in the country. If you don't know where I live, my house is very hard to find. I'm kind of thankful for that. I like that. And by not having noisy animals in the back, that helps me keep my place quiet and private. They don't bark, they don't cluck, they don't move. Another great advantage to rabbits is their recipes are almost an exact crossover to chicken recipe. For example, if you have fried chicken, you can have fried rabbit. Chicken Alfredo can be rabbit Alfredo. Chicken pot pie can be rabbit pot pie. Almost every recipe you can imagine for chicken can be redone with rabbit meat. Rabbit meat's very healthy. Their manure is great for the garden. It's one of the best manures around for gardening. Straight off out of that bucket, right straight into the garden, till it in, you're good to go. You don't have to wait and let it decompose. Of course, the more it decomposes, the better it works. And throughout the winter time, you can throw that manure in your garden. Then come spring, when you till the garden back up, you are throwing nothing but nutrients into that soil. Your garden is going to love it. You can also sell their fur for money. If you are not squeamish and you don't mind gutting and skinning and all that stuff, your own rabbit, processing them out, when you learn how to make the cuts on skinning them, you don't want to butcher that pelt. You want to make sure it's in pristine condition, and then you're going to have to tan it, dry it, the whole 9 yards. If you don't mind putting in that extra bit of work, it could very easily be worth it for you. I don't know what the going rate as of today is, October 2023. I don't know what the pelts go for right now. Don't care. I'm not into the pelts. I'm into the meat. I've also been told that you can sell the manure to some of these dispensaries, and they will use that to grow the marijuana. It's supposed to be very good for marijuana. It's neither here nor there. It's obviously great for my garden, and that's why I wanted it. Once again, their housing accommodations are fairly cheap, easy to build. Their meat is very versatile. It's very nutritious. I've had rabbit plenty of times in the past, and yes, believe it or not, as the old saying goes, it tastes like chicken. Well, it actually kind of does. Now, at the same time, this does equal more work for you, but ultimately we are all working for our own food anyways, whether it's a job, a garden, hunting, fishing, whatever. If you're going to have something, it's going to require effort. So might as well get used to that. And if you live on a hobby farm like I do, you're used to having to work the animals in the garden, and there's plenty to do. Adding rabbits to the mix is not going to add hours and hours and hours of time to your day. My rabbits take me roughly 5 minutes a day to maintain, and that includes the once a week when I go dump that manure bucket in the garden and rinse it out. It's only a few minutes a day, but it's also another food source for you, along with, like I said, the free fertilizer for the garden. Rabbits can be raised in a fairly small space, like in your own backyard. I don't know what your city ordinances are where you are. That's your business. You're going to have to look into that and figure all that out. Keeping in mind that rabbits don't make any noise. It's not like chickens that are going to be out there clucking and super bright and early in the morning and waking up the neighbors. You really don't have to worry about your neighbors griping too much about your rabbits. Rabbit urine has an odor to it like any other urine. It's very strong. You can smell it. So if you're going to raise rabbits in your backyard, be prepared to rinse out the urine and try to keep that odor down to a minimum. That also in the country is one of those things that will attract predators. So be prepared to, maintain the odor and keep the odor down. Research for yourself and decide which rabbit best suits you, and how many you need for a family your size. Now, like I've said, I've got New Zealand's and Californians. Those are the only two breeds I want. That gives me 3 possible meat varieties, if you will: complete New Zealand, complete Californian, or a crossbreed. Yet again, I'm in it for the meat. I'm not in it for the money. So I'm not going to be the least bit hesitant about crossbreeding a California buck to a New Zealand doe. It's not going to faze me one bit. I'm after the meat. So once again, this is something you need to keep in mind. Are you after meat? Are you wanting to make a little extra money on the side? If you're wanting to make a little extra money on the side, you're probably going to want to stick with pure breed, keeping the New Zealands together, keeping the Californians together, so on and so on. Whatever you do, do not buy your rabbits until you have housing ready for them. This is very important. You come home with a baby rabbit in a cardboard box from Atwoods, and you don't have a home for it, you're going to have to scramble and get something made. Get your housing set up first. Then go get your rabbits. Get your feed, your water bottles, your feeding boxes, a nesting box for mamas when it's breeding time. Another very good tangible benefit to raising rabbits for yourself, the normal litter size for New Zealand is between 7 and 15 baby rabbits at a time. The gestation period on a rabbit is between 28 and 34 days. So once you breed them, say you breed them December 1st, come the first part of January, you should be looking for baby rabbits to be born. I can't stress this near enough. Don't handle your rabbits like they're pets. If they are meant to be livestock, you need to treat them as such. If you keep handling your mama rabbit like a pet, when she has her babies, for whatever reason, if she can still smell you on her, for some reason, she will kill the baby rabbits. You cannot handle them like you would a puppy. They need their privacy. As silly as that sounds, they actually need their privacy. The only human intervention they should have is when you're out there feeding and watering them and cleaning out the cages. So research for yourself what breed of rabbit you want. If Flemish Giant is what you want, by all means. I mean, if that's the way you want to go, that's the way you want to go. But I can't stress near enough about doing your own research, finding out the breed that you think would be best for your size family and what size space you have available to grow the rabbits in. I have 11 acres. I have more than enough room. Those 7 rabbits I have not even come close to putting a dent in my 11 acres. So there's just no way that's possible. If I had 700 rabbits, that might be a little something more to brag about, but I don't. So do your research. Get your housing ready first. After you do your research, that'll also tell you what size housing you need. And then go get your rabbits. As always, thanks for watching. Stay safe. God bless.